Today we'll address some problems that many students encounter in IELTS test. So let's see what they are. Hello everyone, welcome to LangGo Learning System. My name is Lavan and I'm an IELTS teacher at LangGo. Today we'll address some problems that many students encounter in IELTS test. First and most basic mistake is the harmony between the subject and the verb in the sentence Noun-verb Agreement. To make it easier to understand, you can look at the following sentence. One of the students are going on a picnic, or there is some flowers over there. This is a mistake made about subject-verb harmony. The two sentences above will be corrected as follows. One of the students is going on a picnic. There are some flowers over there. The next mistake is how to use the. Here are the uses of the. The most common uses are when using superlatives, the most wonderful, or used with ordinal numbers such as the first, the second. Used with something unique like the earth, the atmosphere, the internet. Or when talking about a country that is an island or a state, like the USA, the UK, or the Maldives. Or we also see the used in cases with more abstract words like the following. Used with the nouns to refer to a facility that is unique to a certain area, such as the government, the police, the river. Used before nouns indicating the general things like cardio exercise is good for the body. The motorbike is a popular mode of transport in Vietnam. Or before abstract names indicating a condition, process, quality or change, the development, the improvement, the alteration. However, please note we do not use the in the following cases. Don't use the with plural nouns when referring to animals in general, such as cats and dogs. Don't use the with specific places or countries, such as Vietnam, Ireland, or Europe. Another common mistake is using the wrong countable and uncountable nouns. Some nouns in English are never used in the countable form, which candidates often confuse. The noun tip can be used in the countable form, a tip, but the noun advice is uncountable, so an advice or advices is not correct. Another example is the use of the word damage. People often mistakenly say many damages, which should be a lot of damage. When it is an uncountable noun, the nouns cannot be used with a or an articles or quantitative words. For example, an advice, a piece of advice. A number of homework, a lot of, or some homework. Here are some nouns that you need to take notes of to avoid using them wrongly. For these words, you can use a lot of, or some, or a little, instead of many or a few. A lot of, or a little money, a lot of traffic, a lot of, or some, or not much shopping, a lot of happiness, a lot of, or not much literature, a lot of, or a little work, and a lot of baggage, not much baggage, some advertising, a lot of or not much food. The fourth is a problem for many English beginners. How to use the verb form after some specific verbs in English. Following words are followed by the to infinitive verb form. Want to drink, seem to think, refuse to do, promise to come back, prepare to pack, offer to help, learn to fix, hope to achieve, help to organize, deserve to get, decide to act, afford to buy. For example, I hope to meet you next week. We can afford to buy a higher-end motorbike. After the following verbs, we need to use the ing form. Suggest going out, recommend eating, practice listening, mind helping, keep walking, involve thinking, imagine flying, give up smoking, finish working. For example, people should practice exercising regularly. My uncle tries to give up smoking. If you want to understand more details about the verb forms that follow each specific verb, watch the video linked below in the comments. Another mistake that you often encounter is the use of articles before noun phrases. Before each noun phrase is combined with a previous modifier, you need to use a or an article in the following phrases. A dramatical increase, a special improvement. Some special cases of using the a or an article are to use the preposition of after the noun phrase, such as a wide range of, an equal number of, a large or small number of, a small or large or equal proportion of. Exceptions: quite a few people, to a certain extent or degree. Another common problem is the use of commas in sentence. Example: firstly, we are going to look at the benefits of living in the city. You can see that the above sentence is a grammatically correct sentence, but there is a mistake here. What do you think it is? In IELTS writing, linking words are indispensable to connect ideas, including some words like firstly, however, on the other hand, for example, in summary. However, quite a few candidates make mistakes in using punctuation in the above case, leading to a loss of marks. Therefore, we should place a comma after the linking word. These commas are also known as discourse markers. A comma is usually placed after the linking word, as in the above sentence or as in the following sentence. However, comma, some piece of advertisement still has a negative impact on communities. In case the linking word is placed in the middle of the sentence, it's necessary to put a comma before and after the linking word. Global warming is commonly blamed on fossil fuels, comma, however, comma. Other individuals feel it is a natural phenomenon. Next one, the most common mistake when using English is the mistake of verb tenses in this sentence. With 12 basic English tenses, each type has its own usage and characteristics for each tense. However, in order to master the usage in each context, the user needs to know the meaning of the word and the time the action takes place to choose the appropriate one to express that idea. Please refer to the videos on how to use and distinguish the tenses. Next, there's another area that it is a bit more difficult to overcome, which is the error of using the wrong prepositions after common adjectives. Often, many Vietnamese people use to be surprised about something. That is a completely wrong phrase. We'll say surprised at, not about. Here are some common phrases used in English. Bad at something, angry with someone or about something, disappointed about something or with someone, worried about something or someone, good at something, surprised at something, fall, decrease, drop, increase in something, advantage or disadvantage of, example of. Another mistake is the error of using apostrophes in writing. The use of contractions isn't wrong, but using them in the IELTS writing test is not appropriate. For example, can't becomes cannot in the writing. Don't will write do not. I'll, I will. The last error is also the one that you need to pay a lot of attention to, which is the spelling error. This mistake is often made in those who are not exposed to much vocabulary. It not only interrupts the communication process, but also loses a significant number of points in their writing. Some of your words are often wrong, such as priority with the redundant RI, priority. There and there. Accommodation should be double C. Accommodation. Beginning with double N. Beginning. Business with one S in the first syllable. Country should be country with an R. Don't forget the N in environment. Environment. These are some common mistakes that are often encountered in the IELTS writing test, and you especially need to avoid these mistakes to avoid losing points. I hope you found this lesson helpful in preparing for your IELTS test. If you want to sign up for IELTS courses at LangGo, click on the link below. These IELTS courses are designed to cater to individual needs and provide personalized learning pathways. Remember to like, share and subscribe for more videos. I am Lavan from LangGo Learning System. See you next time!